No DQ Galaxy. We are live with the NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for January the 28th, 2022. The Royal Rumble, less than 24 hours away. It is going to be a very eventful show. A lot of possible surprises, which, by the way, you could keep up to date with all the news and possible spoilers over at NoDQ.com. And make sure you guys head over to NoDQ.com/merch. All NoDQ merchandise, 20% off using the code RUMBLE. Now, with that being said, let's get right to this recap. We had a full intro for SmackDown. That doesn't happen very often. And then we had Charlotte Flair come to the ring for a promo. That happens often. Psycho Jet Black said to the $2 super chat, says, dude, the lighting makes you look really shiny. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the comment in the super chat, Psycho Jet Black. Charlotte cut a promo about the Royal Rumble. And then Shayna Baszler arrived to interrupt her with brand new music. And to sum it up, it was very generic sounding. Another L for Death Rebel, or whatever the name of that group is. Death Rebel? Death something? I don't know, but not a fan of a lot of their theme songs. Another CFO's song that was perfectly fine bites the dust. Anyways, Shayna Baszler said she's going to snap Charlotte like a twig in the Royal Rumble. Will waste no time declaring Charlotte as her WrestleMania opponent when she wins. Then we had Aaliyah interrupt. It's one of those segments where one person comes out after another with a microphone. And she brought up how she beat Natalya 3 seconds and 17 milliseconds, whatever. Natalya then interrupted, of course, and said that Aaliyah was lucky. Shotzi Blackheart arrived. And then finally, we had Sasha Banks making her return. After about a 3 or 4 week absence, she injured her foot back at the start of the year. And it was reported by WWE that she was going to be out of action something like 6 to 8 weeks, which would have put her out of the Royal Rumble. But she's back. Now, maybe she recovered quickly. Maybe WWE exaggerated the injury. But regardless of the case, why not just save her for the Rumble? Why bring her back on the show? Unless WWE has some big surprises at the Rumble and they wanted to get Sasha back on this show. Sasha Bank. Want to get Sasha Bank on the show? Walter Cruz with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. I appreciate it. Says, why the hell would you ruin the surprise for Sasha Banks? Part of the fun of the Rumble is surprises, not like we're in the pay-per-view era and you have to sell one. Yeah, that's a very solid point, but maybe WWE doesn't want Sasha's return to be overshadowed by a bigger return or somebody else returning. Just saying. And there's a lot of rumors out there. You can keep up to date with everything going on over at NoDQ.com. And Josh Jones on Facebook says that Xia Li still can't get a spot in the Rumble. Well, she might be in it. They got, I think, 7 spots left, something like that. There are a lot of rumors, though, and it'll be interesting to see which rumors are true and which are not. Anyways, a big fight broke out with all the ladies, and then it was down to Charlotte and Sasha in the ring, and Sasha dumped Charlotte over the top, symbolically giving herself some momentum heading into the Royal Rumble. Segment was fine with Sasha coming back, but as you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of these interruption segments. Like, just say you're going to have an in-ring confrontation with 6 of the women participants. They're all in the ring with a mic. So at least it's something that You announce in advance, and when you do it this way, like, it just comes off really lame, in my opinion. Very choreographed. We had Sheamus and Ridge Holland against Cesaro and Ricochet in a tag team match. I did not care about this match. I had little to no interest in this match because, as I've been saying for a while now, I do not have any interest in seeing Sheamus versus Cesaro or Ricochet or both of them in any kind of a tag match scenario, because Sheamus basically beat those two guys in a handicap match at day one. And with Ridge Holland by his side, how am I supposed to believe that Cesaro and Ricochet have any chance at all of winning? And they did not win. They had a little bit of offense. Ricochet did some high-flying stuff. Cesaro got the hot tag, but then Ridge Holland used his mask to protect his nose. He took off the mask and hit. Actually, I think he was still wearing it. He hit Cesaro with the mask and then pinned him for the 1-2-3. Carlos Gomez with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Carlos. Says, damn, my pick was Liv Morgan winning the Rumble. I guess I got to go back with my original with Sasha Banks. She has to be the favorite, right? Thank you for bringing that up. I am officially changing my Royal Rumble pick, the third pick. My first pick is Ronda Rousey. My second pick is Bianca Belair. And my third pick now, I originally went with Lita, but I am changing that prediction to Sasha Banks. She is now my third pick. Noah Foster has already entered it. You guys make sure you participate in the No DQ Predictions League. Follow Noah Foster and Foster1916 on Twitter. You can join the Predictions League. We had the Royal Rumble by the numbers video, which is very cool. They always do a good job with these videos. Nice little recap of the Royal Rumble history. I enjoy them. This one was no exception. And then we had Sonya Deville versus Naomi. Sonya Deville in her first one-on-one match since SummerSlam 2020. Before the match, Sonya Deville had words with the referee, I guess trying to get him to bend the rules, but he would refuse. He said he was going to call it down the middle. And this was a really good match between these two. We actually had a match. Sonya was stalling at first, and then she took her little cheap shot and got the upper hand. And it went back and forth here. You had Naomi going for a baseball slide on the outside, but Sonya caught her and planted her on the floor, worked her over for a while in the ring. Naomi made a comeback, hit a top rope crossbody, but Sonya kicked out of that. And Sonya then threw Naomi into the corner, hit some kind of inverted slam. The announcers weren't even sure what to call it. Remember, Canyon was the innovator of offense? Like, Sonya Deville might be the new innovator of offense. It was a pretty cool move, but Naomi was able to kick out of it, and then Sonya raked the eyes when the referee wasn't looking, went for a roll-up. She was grabbing the tights, but Naomi was able to kick out nonetheless. And then Naomi hit the rear view, went for the split-legged moonsault. She hit it. 1, 2, 3. And Naomi gets her revenge, her retribution over Sonya Deville. Nice, clean finish here. Very enjoyable TV match. Afterwards, Sonya Deville came back out with her official jacket and said that she will be in the Royal Rumble match. I guess this means this feud is not over yet. This would have been a nice way to just end it here, but Sonya Deville is in fact going to be in the Royal Rumble, which is cool. Glad to see her finally getting active in the ring again. Then we had a backstage segment with the Usos and the Viking Raiders. The Usos were talking about how the Viking Raiders throw axes and they stank. And the Raiders admitted that, yeah, they do have a manly odor. And yes, it's true. They do love their axes, and they showed off their axes. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, I still want Naomi to turn heel and join the bloodline. Yes, I agree with that 100%, Psycho Jet Black. And Marshall Leonard says, will Mickie James win the Rumble? No. And she'll be lucky if she lasts 3 minutes in that match. If she lasts more than one interval, then that's a pretty good run in the Royal Rumble. But no, she is not winning. We had another In Zayn segment with Sami Zayn. However, it is no longer a Jackass-style segment. It is now a podcast. And his guests were Jinder Mahal and Shanky. He should have asked them, where's Veer? But he did not do that. He was talking about how he does not want to hear Johnny Knoxville's name anymore. So, of course, the crowd chanted for Johnny. And then we had an interruption from Freddie Mercury, or actually Rick Boogs, who has a very Freddie Mercury-like look now with the short hair and the mustache. The Intercontinental Champion, who has been cleared for the Rumble, Shinsuke Nakamura. He was there, and we had a tag team match. And this was basically the Rick Boogs show. He was showing off his power, did this big vertical suplex to Shanky, and Sami Zayn tried to interfere. He knocked Shinsuke Nakamura off the apron at one point, but that did not stop Boogs. Boogs was able to pick up the big man Shanky, got him with the pump handle slam, which he calls the Boogs Cruise, and scored a very impressive 1-2-3 victory. And Pat McAfee was like, another one bites the dust. Good stuff here. I'm really enjoying Boogs. Boogs has some potential. The guy is entertaining, and he has some cool moves. He has a lot of power. He's got personality. I say try to make something out of this guy. He's definitely somebody that could be a really big star in WWE. We'll see what happens. We then had a tag team match. We had Big E and Kofi Kingston. Xavier Woods is injured, versus Happy Corbin and Riddick Moss, or Madcap Moss, whatever you want to call it. And to answer Josh Jones, would not shock me if they did that as the kickoff match, but Sami Zayn is in the Rumble, and I believe Nakamura is too. But yeah, they have not announced any kickoff matches yet. I hope they don't, but you know, WWE, it's certainly a possibility. Kofi Kingston went for the trust fall, but he got caught by both Corbin and Moss, thrown into the post. They worked him over for a while. They hit the deep six, but Kofi kicked out of that. And then New Day started to build up some momentum when Big E tagged in. They hit the midnight hour, and they pinned Riddick Moss. Pretty standard match here. And Big E kind of feels like an afterthought at this point, which makes me wonder if he is, in fact, winning the Royal Rumble. But if not him, then who? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, somebody out of left field? I guess we'll see. And speaking of Roman Reigns, we had our final segment of the evening. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, their final confrontation. But before we get to that, Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat, thank you, says, hey, Aaron, did you know that Madcap Moss sucks? The gimmick is terrible. Maybe with a different gimmick, I might like Moss, but yeah, the Madcap Moss thing is really annoying. And not in a, I want to see him get beat up way, in a, I want to change my channel way. So Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Rollins was dressed up like the Joker from The Dark Knight, and he was dominating this promo. It was mostly Rollins. He brought up all the things he's done to Roman Reigns, cashing in at WrestleMania 31, coming back from his injury to beat Reigns for the title, breaking up the Shield with the chair to the back, and Reigns was really selling it. Reigns was looking very frustrated and annoyed with Seth Rollins. And Rollins said that Reigns has done it all, but beat him when it matters the most. and said it will be nothing personal when he takes the title. Reigns responded to this by saying he tried to forgive Rollins, but he hates Rollins. And Rollins responded by saying that Reigns and his whole family, they're jokes. Reigns got upset. He shoved Rollins. Rollins was laughing at him like a maniac. And then Reigns went for a Superman punch, but he missed. And then Rollins slipped away to the outside, getting the last laugh over Roman Reigns. Pretty interesting final segment here. Kind of felt like a segment where they really wanted you to think that Seth Rollins has mentally gotten the best of Roman Reigns. It was a well-done segment in that regard, but now I'm even more convinced that Reigns is not dropping the title because he did show some weakness here, and I think he's going to pick up the win on not Sunday. See, I am trained to think these pay-per-views are on Sunday. I got to get used to it being Saturday, tomorrow, less than 24 hours away. Carlos Gomez sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Carlos. Says, Forbidden Door, who do you see appearing at the Royal Rumble? Honestly, I don't think we're going to see anybody outside of WWE other than Mickie James. I believe there are 5 spots in the men's match left, and there's rumors about several people, and I just don't see any AEW guys or even Impact guys coming in. As for the women's match, I think they got 22, 23 spots, maybe 24 now. Not a lot left, and there are some women that are rumored, actually a good 5, 6 people. I don't think we're going to see any Forbidden Door people. More or less, I think we can guess the 30 participants for each match based off of the rumored entrants. And there's quite a few. And again, you can read over NoDQ.com if you're wanting to know who the potential spoilers are. And to respond to Anthony, no, Cody Rhodes, I do not think will be there. So anyways, SmackDown was pretty solid. Entertaining show. Was it a must-see show? I don't think so. But it was a good show overall. I would give it a somewhat recommend. I would say if you're going to watch anything on this show, watch the Sonya Deville Naomi match. That was a very good TV match. The main event segment was entertaining, but just more build for the pay-per-view, and the build was pretty solid overall. And we have a $5 super chat from Bry. What is it? Bry Trod? $5. Thank you for that. Says, do you think Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns is a better storyline to main event WrestleMania than Brock versus Roman? I know this is going to be unpopular, but I think Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is the way to go for WrestleMania. You want to do the biggest match possible, and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns is big in the WWE bubble, but with Brock Lesnar, that opens things up. You get more casual people tuning in. So from a business perspective, I think Brock and Roman is the better choice. And Brock and Roman have a lot of history. So does Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. But you know what? The Royal Rumble is arguably the second biggest show of the year. And it's a very fitting place for them to have this match. Anyways, guys, we'll see what happens with the Royal Rumble. I will be back after the pay-per-view to give my thoughts, and I will be doing play-by-play coverage. No, I do not think Veer is going to enter the Rumble, even though it would be funny. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the live results coverage, whether you're watching the pay-per-view or not. You can check that out, and then I will be back here. Tell a friend. Subscribe if you haven't already, and please just give this video a like and do whatever you can to let people know about the channel and the site. It is very much appreciated from everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Royal Rumble. Carlos sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Carlos. He says, okay, why is it that Seth Rollins got more promo time than Roman? I remember when Roman Reigns was cutting way better promos last year. Remember that missionary? Well, I think it was to give Seth Rollins the opportunity to have one over on Roman Reigns, at least in the psychological department. Give Rollins that edge and make people at home think, well, Roman seems bothered by Seth Rollins. Maybe Seth Rollins is going to win the title. And that's what you do. You want your challenger to be as credible as possible, and you want people to think the challenger might actually win. So they did it. Very nice job of doing it, because they didn't do it where in other instances somebody gets pinned. The champ might get pinned to build up a challenger. Here, Rollins was playing the psychological game with Roman Reigns, and he was getting one over on Reigns to set up the match. So that's why Rollins was dominating it, to really set him up as the challenger. And no, Psycho Jet Black, Rift Aronson will not be in the Royal Rumble. You will never see that piece of crap again. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Royal Rumble, it's going to be fun. NoDQ.com. Say yes to No DQ. See you next time.